So this is about after operation, after surgery. So Wednesday, I was saying that I walked a ton. I was really uncomfortable from the bloating, and you pass people in the hallway, and everyone's kind of complaining about the bloating and the gas just stuck in your abdominal region because you're on the floor with everyone else who's had some sort of gastrointestinal um, surgery, and so it's a common complaint. For some reason, I had a little extra bloating more than normal people do, but I just kept walking. Thursday, finally, I had my first bowel movement. Yay. Of course, it was liquid and yucky, and I actually ended up having 4 that day. But it was all fantastic because that meant that things are starting to move again, which means that things are going to progress. So they put me on a liquid diet, which meant I had broth. I had 3 different types of broth. I ate all the bowls. I had some Jello. I had tea. I didn't want to try too many crazy things, but those things worked fine. And they took out my epidural on Thursday. And I still had the push, but the epidural was gone. I think they took out the catheter on Tuesday. So at that point on Thursday, I'm just have the IV where I'm getting push medication and an IV. So you're going to the bathroom a lot because you got an IV in, and so they just brought me because of the shared room situation. They brought me like a standing commode where I could just put that beside my bed instead of having to walk all the way across the room to the other side with my IV where the other people were, because at this point we had the older lady had left and we had a couple who shared over this. There were 4 of us staying in the room. Fine. They were lovely people. And I'm reading my notes. That's why I'm looking to the right or left, whatever it comes up on that thing. On Friday, so I had more bowel movements, and again, very liquid, lots and lots of walking, but I got to start on soft food diet. And I had eggs, I had yogurt, applesauce, potato soup, Gatorade, and it all was fine. I just a little bit at a time, but it was great to eat. They started giving me an oral narcotic, but I didn't like it. It's oxycodone. I don't like that stuff. It makes me feel crazy. So they ended up switching it to hydromorphone, which didn't make me feel loopy, and I was able to function much better. The thing about those narcotics, though, is they're going to make you constipated. You don't want to be constipated. You got to get everything moving. So it's kind of a catch-22 about what you're going to take and how much of it. So the doctor came in Friday afternoon and said I could leave the next day because everything was looking fine. So on Saturday morning, I ate a little bit of a cheese omelet and had Gatorade and took a shower. And I tried to switch to extra strength Tylenol on Saturday instead of the hydromorphone because I'm like, oh, I don't need these narcotics. Bad mistake. I should have stayed on them. So I did not. So Saturday we left the hospital and went to the hotel where we stayed at that AKA Sutton Place. Great place. I highly recommend it. They have some sort of a discount. I don't know what it is for the memorial patients, but it was the perfect place, perfect location, everything. AKA Sutton Place. And I went walking. My husband went to pick up my son, who flew into JFK, and a friend of mine came in from out of town. This is the great thing. I had friends coming in from out of town to visit Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So different people would come through, and that was great because it kept me distracted, and I had a great time seeing people I haven't seen in a long time, given the fact I live on the West Coast and they all live on the East Coast. I am so grateful for their visits. But I went walking with my friend while my husband went to the airport, and we walked, multiple blocks and went back to the hotel. I started feeling badly, and I think that's when I should have clued into this extra strength Tylenol is not going to cut it. But later on that night, I did take the hydromorphone, and it made all the difference in the world. I felt better within 15 minutes. So I just stayed on that schedule. for the next 3 or 4 days. Every 4 hours, I took a pill, and I think it's a 2 milligram pill. And actually, it made me feel normal. Made me feel normal. Didn't make me feel woozy. And I could, the whole week, it was, on Monday, we walked down maybe about 10 or 12 blocks down to a German restaurant and then walked back. And then, we went to Times Square and down to the 9/11 Memorial and went to the Modern Museum of Art. I did get a wheelchair there and they pushed me around, but went to see Phantom of the Opera. Actually, we had a really great week of, there was a lot of resting and a lot of chatting with friends, but there was also quite a bit of going out and being on the town. And, I wasn't really eating out, but I certainly was enjoying my time in New York, which was fun. It was worth going to New York just for that. And couple of notes. You can't wear a bra. Females, where he cut on me is kind of, let's see, is up on my breastbone. So wearing a bra would hit the incision. So I'm still 3.5 weeks out. I'm still not wearing a bra because I'm afraid it would be too irritating. The other thing is, for me, underwear and pants are, even if they're too, even if you've lost weight, they're just too. You don't want anything pressing on your lower belly. Even, I'm not even talking about the incision area. I'm talking about below the incision area. The incision goes from the breastbone down below the belly button. And so my friend and I went to buy dresses one day because the pants, I just brought all pants and it wasn't working. So either bring like super big casual pants or bring some dresses or skirts or something, because you're not going to want anything pressing on you. I'm still bloated 3.5 weeks later. I've still got inflammation and bloat. And I definitely had it a lot worse back then. So I recommend you to think about that. And yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that's relevant for that week in New York. If I think of something, I'll let you know. Bye.